Welcome to the Ultimate Bloons TD6 strategy series, where I'm going to be showing you strategies for every single tower from the Dart Monkey to the Beast Handler and every single path in between. This will show you how to diversify your setup and get better, along with seeing some stats, tips and tricks, and all of the strategies for every single one of the towers. And although that the series is geared more towards Chimps mode, this will also show you a lot of tips and tricks that apply to the standard game and will allow you to win with a new style. So the next tower is going to be the Tsar Bomba, which is the middle path ace along with the ground zero and bomber ace. So these guys are pretty funky towers and I have some opinions about it, so let's go into it. So the bomber ace is the first tower. This guy can do early game damage, although it doesn't work on maps that get longer, and I'll talk about why. The ground zero does a few things. You can use it for DDT damage, burst damage, and some cleanup. And the Tsar Bomba has like big bombs and a full map nuke, question mark, question mark, question mark. I didn't really know what to write there, so thought I'd just write that. Anyways, looking at the stats, there's like a bunch of stats for the bomber ace. It's not really a tower that you see a whole lot. It used to be like big in the race meta a long time ago. Well, that was like when I was playing races, so that would have been a long time ago. But then the ground zero is another interesting tower. This one is one that I kind of really just don't like. Same with Tsar. I really just don't like these towers. I'll tell you why. I'm not gonna like say don't use them, but I'll just tell you about them and kind of give you some examples along with it. And then here's the Tsar Bomba. This one does 3,000 damage per ability use instead of 700 that the ground zero does, so it's a bit stronger, has a lot more potential, can take out Bloons a lot better compared to the ground zero. Anyways, now looking into the cross paths for these guys, the one cross path that you want to get is the 130. This will allow the bombs that it like drops to be placed and like deployed faster, which can be really good when you're on a map that it can like loop around a lot. The bomber ace's bombs won't really do much past like the early game, but the ground zero and Tsar Bomba actually have a decently strong attack for the bomber ace, and if you can get a bunch of the bombs in, they can do quite well. But anyways, why this guy's not really that good in the early game is that on harder maps, the consistency, it just isn't there. Like, it will completely miss everything. So not really the best there. And for maps that this tower is good on, it's good on pretty much any maps because it has a global nuke. Well, not the bomber ace because bomber ace is lame, but the other towers have the global nuke, so it can use anywhere, and you can also really just use it with like any hero. But one hero that stands out particularly better than the others is Geraldo, because you can get the rejuve potion, and with Tsar Bomba you can rejuve the Tsar Bombas, which is actually quite good. The ground zero you can really use any hero though. Anyways, the objectives is the Tsar Bomba late game, ground zero cleanup, and the bomber ace early game. I'm going to be showcasing it on cards and darts here. This is like about as long of a map you're gonna get where the bomber ace is still going to stay consistent, because past this, like when it gets shorter, the bomber ace is just gonna let stuff through and you're pretty much gonna die. It's like not gonna be fun, so you really won't see this much places else. So if you're doing some easier maps, you might as well give it a try in Chimps mode, see if you can do something with it in the early game. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get a jungle of the druid, and then I'm going to plop down Geraldo to start getting levels, grab something up there to take up the camos, and then I'm going to go into this bomber ace to deal with the leads and stuff. We're just going to get a 130 in the middle right there, and it's going to be doing some stuff. I just spiked that round 24 camo, so I have it in this position, so it's going to be dropping bombs fairly consistently with 130. Once we get the 130 upgrade, it will be able to do some stuff, but as you can see, it did take out all the leads. It was kind of sketchy though. On round 28, it's going to go a little bit better, but it's still not the greatest. As I said, past maps like this, like cards and darts level difficulty, which really isn't asking for much difficulty, then you're kind of just gonna get screwed. So let's turn over and look at some examples with the ground zero first here. So doing 700 damage, one thing that this is notable at doing is insta-killing DDTs. You can have a whole bunch of DDTs on the screen, use the ability, and they're gone. However, one thing that I don't like particularly about this tower is that fortified DDTs, it will not pop. It will need two abilities, so one ability and then 2 abilities, which isn't something that you're going to be getting a lot. And another reason why I really don't like this tower is because the use is very situational. It really will only have a lot of impact if you have something like this strategy that's doing equal amounts of damage to a lot of balloons at the same time, which typically isn't something that you're going to have. You're going to see something more like this next example, where you won't just have like a bajillion Moabs all spaced out that you can very cleanly ground zero. It's going to look something more like this with the Comanche Commander, where it's focusing one balloon at a time, like that BFB, it's going to go down, next BFB is going to go down, then those ZOMGs are all going to go. So as you can see, when I use my ground zero ability there, like pretty much nothing happened. In fact, what it did is made all the BFBs more consistently damaged, so they just turned into a big Moab rush later on, as you can see right after the ability got used. So it's not like it's going to really have that much impact in a lot of runs, which is something that I don't really like about it. In runs where it can have a lot of impact, it can be good, but even then, I still find it better to just spend money on other support, and like snowstorms I just find to be better anyways. And then for the case of Tsar, I just personally don't really like the tower a lot, so you don't really see me using it, and when I do use it, I'm always complaining about it. So anyways, that's kind of just, I guess, my personal opinions. Not really saying it's a bad tower, it's just that I really don't enjoy using it to like a degree of which I am not going to use it in challenges. So if you really do enjoy it, then like by all means go ahead and play around with it, but for one, I'm particularly not really using it that much. But anyways, going on for this example of the Tsar Bomba, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a mid game. We're only really going to be seeing this guy come out in the late game and its ability to be used in the late game. So in the meantime, I'm going to start working on just like a bit of a super monkey robo squad right in there. Just a bunch of cape robos. If you know this trick, I'll definitely showcase it in like the episode that involves the super monkey, but you can just get a bunch of dart monkeys surrounded that by the alchemists and the ice monkey or glue. If you're going to get a relentless glue in there too, that's going to become an embrittlement later. Those alks will become alk buffs, and then you can get just like a bunch of robos that are caped in those with those dart monkeys inside, and they can be super compact. You can get lots of discounts in there, or you can also just skip the alk buffs and go for a glue storm instead, which is also a very good combination, and it's just very strong. So we're gonna have that. I can get ground zero here too. You can use ground zero in the mid game if you want. You can take out like ceramic rushes with the ability, I guess. It will be able to nuke pretty much anything in the mid game, but once you get past around 80, the ground zero seems to kind of just fall off to me. It's also really expensive. It used to be like considered one of the best towers in the game a long time ago, but that's when it was also like way cheaper, and a lot of the other towers and like good combinations, especially support, weren't as strong too. So I kind of can see why it was good a long time ago. I definitely used it a lot a long time ago for challenges and all, but now not really the biggest fan. Anyways, we're just going to get the rest of these super monkeys up. I'll be using just a few Geraldo items. I don't really want to waste them. We're going to be using more of them in the late game, especially those rejuves. Being able to rejuve a Tsar Bomba ability is really quite strong, and you'll have 2 of them. If you can time the reset, you'll get like 4 of the rejuves, and you can just rejuve Tsar Bomba your way through the late game, which is something pretty strong. You can use 1 rejuve to completely nuke around 98. You could use get it back for like 99, nuke 95, really free. So if you time it well, you can do pretty much a lot with Tsar Bomba actually. Oh geez, my voice was dying at the end there. Just had to get a quick drink of water. But anyways, so you could do quite a lot. It's like not a bad strategy. As I said, I personally just don't really like using it. Maybe it's something about it. Maybe it looked at me wrong one day. Not really the greatest for me. But anyways, curious to know what you think, because I clearly don't like it. Do you like using this tower? Is it something that you would consider using here and there? Have you used it in Chimps mode or just like anything else? And what do you think about it? Because not really one of my favorite. But I guess for the last bit, I'm going to say that with Geraldo, definitely can be used a lot. You can also move around with Geraldo items, so you can pair it with like the rejuves and the genies, time that out, and you can kind of cruise through a lot of the later game rounds. 100 though, you'll still need something. So for here on 100, I just beat it with the genies. So as you can see there on 95, the DTTs, they started pushing a bit far. The robos couldn't keep up with it, so you just Tsar Bomba all of that. They're gone. 96, just Tsar Bomba the rest of those for fun. On 98, I can rejuve 1, 2, just like insta-killed that wave. Get these genies up, those DDTs are down, and then run 100s down. So I guess that's a pretty good example of using it. You can also use it on harder maps, but just because I don't really like this guy, I'm not going to give him a second challenge run. I'm just like that. Gonna spite you. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!